Hello, YouTube land, and welcome to another edition of the Crypto Mamma Mia. Today is November 16, 2022, Hump Day. What am I talking about today, ladies and gents? I am talking about this dude. And who is this dude? Sam Bankman Fried, or as he likes to be known, SBF, and the connection he has to the Democratic Party. You'd be surprised what his connection is, but before I do that, let me tell you, if you have not liked me, if you have not subscribed to me, if you have not shared me yet, and not in that way, you sickos, please do, because I will be giving a special surprise to the 3,000th subscriber. I'm almost there, so help me get there. So, what is this surprising connection? And before I tell you what it is, remember, I'm an independent. I poke holes in both the Democrat and the Republican Party. But I'm very weary when I find out these kinds of things. And what did I find out, ladies and gents? This dude, again, SBF, Sam Bankman Fried, is the second largest donor to the Democratic Party. That's right. That's right. This dude right here who has some shady accounting, or as people like to call it, creative accounting. It's people like this who ruin the crypto space for the rest of us, right? I mean, and even now, he's trying to still raise money. I mean, of course, he's got to try to save himself, but he he has taken crypto to some lows, man. It's like the whole Mount Gox, like when certain events are bad for crypto, this is one of them. This and things like BitConnect and things like Mount Gox debacles. And if you don't know what those are, you go look them up, right? I just feel bad because people who are new to the space, they they don't know, they don't realize. You always have to be weary. In any asset you always have to be weary, ladies and gents. You always have to have an exit strategy. You always have to know which ones you're holding long term, which ones you're holding short term, which ones are you like buying and selling quick to make a profit, that kind of stuff. Now you may ask, how do I know? How do you know Crypto Mia that he is the biggest donor? Well, it's not a secret. In fact, this is this is the website opensecrets.org. I mean, come on, they don't you can't hide it. I mean, especially if you have to report it to the IRS, it's gonna be there. Guess who's the biggest Democratic donor? George Soros. And if you don't know him, you should go and research him as well. I gotta look into who these guys are for the Republican Party. I feel like these are military people or military complex people. But right now I'm just focusing on the Democrats because we just had the midterm. And then maybe tomorrow I might focus on the Republicans. Stay tuned. But yes, as you can see, these are the top individual contributors to the parties, right? So blue is Democrat, red is Republican. So look at how much George Soros donated. 128 million. That's right. That's not 1,000. This is not a dot right here. This is a comma. So yeah, 128 million to the Democrats. Why can't people donate to both, right? I tell you why. Because they want to push their agenda through, right? If you go to the Democratic Party and you say, hey, I'm going to give you 128 million, but I would like to see A, B, and C. I believe they would be more apt to be like, you know what, George, we will work on A, B, and C, right? And guess who's the second? Guess who's the second highest? That's right, SBF. He donated 39 million. Again, this is commas. These are not, this is not a period right there. Nope. $39 million. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? And guess what? Guess what else I found? He actually helped to write legislation to, or like he gave his ideas to push through a bill talking about crypto regulations, right? That's like the Robert coming back and saying, you know what, I will do some bank regulations. I'm gonna enact these policies while I rob your bank. What? It's ridiculous, right? I mean, I don't know. And look who's the third, NewsWeb Corp. So whenever you watch the news, whatever news you, especially those mainstream news, you know, anything on cable or network television, just remember who is donating, right? And again, I'm gonna look into the Republicans tomorrow, but for today, I'm sticking with the Democrats because they're in charge right now. They have the president. Right now they have most of Congress. I mean, that's gonna change when January comes because we did just have um, the election. So but right now, it's all Democrats. And so when you see what's happening in your Democratic run city or even just as a whole federal level, this is why. It's because people like these are donating to the Democratic Party. And once you donate this kind of money, you can tell them this guy, this same guy who has, and I quote from Reuters headline, special report: FTX's Bankman-Fried begged for a rescue even as he revealed huge holes in firm's books. That'll be like my daughter coming to me and being like, "Mom, I need a loan of $10,000," even though as we look through her bank account, she's been buying things like a new Mercedes and telling me, "But oh, I need it because I bought a new Mercedes." Well, there you go. It's crazy. It really is. I mean, his crypto empire vanished overnight, ladies and gents. So if you feel bad because you lost $10 because you bought Bitcoin at 17,000 and now it's at 15,000 or 16,000, what about this guy? This guy who was one of the biggest donors, the second biggest donor, only to George Soros, to the Democratic Party. And now that he's in trouble, he can be like, oh, remember when I donated that $39 million to you? Maybe you can help me raise some cash so that I don't go totally belly under or belly up, I should say, you know? And that's just the way politics is run in the US. And I hear in a lot of places too. Leave me a comment if that's how politics is run in your country. You slide some money across the table. I'm picturing one of those spy movies where you have one of those manila envelopes or those briefcases and you just slide it across the table and be like wink wink nod nod, right? I don't know, maybe my imagination is getting to me, but I do know in the real world when you give this kind of money to people who are in charge, you can still do these kinds of things. And they might actually entertain it and not be like, why is there so many holes in your firm's books? Nope, they'll actually be like, maybe we can help this guy out. He did give $39 million after all. And look at him. He's like a young dude. I think he's in like his 30s. Yeah, he's wacky though. But I don't know, for some reason, the billionaires, and maybe that's why they're billionaires, they're wacky, right? If you think about Zuckerberg and you think about Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, they're wacky people. But I guess that's what makes them so crazy and able to reach the levels that they are. I was watching a video yesterday, I forget who, but this guy reminds me of the girl who did that blood test thing. If you have not watched the show Dropout, it's that founder, that CEO woman who said that she could take a drop of blood and figure out your, like, I think her company was called Deros or something like that. He reminds me of her, where he was, you know, trying to make all these promises. In the meantime, it didn't work. You have to watch that show, Dropout. And I'm pretty sure SBS probably gonna have a show about how he duped his investors and got people on board like Tom Brady, because You can talk if you can talk a good talk. Apparently, this is where you'll end up. So with that being said, ladies and gents, again, opensecrets.org, you can look for that kind of stuff, right? And see who is donating to your party, right? I think that's important. Oh, look at Lawrence Ellison. He donated to the Republican Party, 31 million. Again, I'll look into the Republican Party tomorrow because, but I am the crypto mama Mia. That's why I wanted to focus on the Democrats because I see one of the biggest crypto people or biggest people in the crypto space donated to the Democrats. And there are implications there, ladies and gents. You know it. You can't turn a blind eye to it. You know that people like this influence the way me and you live if you live in the United States. Stop being blinded or in denial of it and just learn how the connections happen. That way you can better prepare yourself for what comes next, right? This is why I have this channel. I want you to be as informed as possible. I am an educational channel. I want you to learn because in the end, you've just got you, as I always say. You do you, man, woman, or otherwise classified, right? You do you because you're all you've got. Well, with that being said, remember to like me, share me, not in that way, sickos, and subscribe to me because I do have a special surprise for my 3,000th sub. Well, I hope you're having a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Please stay safe. Please stay healthy. Please stay sane. Most important of all, and I will see you at the next video. Adios.